President-elect Trump said he plans to present a better alternative to Obamacare soon. Mr. Trump didn't offer specifics in an interview with the Washington Post. He said the Republican plan was in the final strokes and promised, quote, "We're going to have insurance for everybody." Mr. Trump also said the replacement plan, there was a philosophy in some circles that if you can't pay for it, you don't get it. That's not going to happen with us. And the president-elect warned pharmaceutical companies, saying they're politically protected, but not anymore. Obamacare supporters held several rallies across the country yesterday. Senators Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer told a crowd in Warren, Michigan, they would fight Republican efforts to repeal the law that expanded coverage to about 22 million Americans.
Sean Spicer is press secretary for the incoming Trump administration and the outgoing communications director for the Republican National Committee. Sean, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. Thanks for having me.
How do we define exactly what the president-elect wants to do? Is it universal health care? Here's what he told Scott Pelley. I'm going to take care of everybody. I don't care if it costs me votes or not. Everybody's going to be taken care of much better than they're taken care of now. Is it like Medicare?
He believes that now. And no, I think that his goal is to make sure that everybody's got health care. But I think one of the beauties of having a president like Donald Trump is he understands how to negotiate and create great deals. He's looking at the pharmaceutical companies. He's looking at other ways to drive costs down and to frankly give accessibility and options to people that they don't have now.
Are more people going to have access to health care than had access under the Obamacare plan?
Oh, I think not only are they going to have greater access, but they're going to have greater choice. They're going to have more plans and more doctors available, something that they're not having now. I mean, you see in market after market, people who at one point had 2, 3 plans to choose from are now being told the only plan available is this one, and no other competition is available. What he's going to do is reinstill a sense of competition and choice in the marketplace, allow greater competition to drive down costs, give consumers more options.
Why haven't we heard the details yet, Sean? And when will we hear?
Because he's not president yet. He's still not president. I get it that you're eager to see it, and I think a lot of people are excited about some of the things that he's going to do in various areas. But we've got 4 days to go. He's got plans on a lot of things that are going to make this country move in the right direction. Whether it's how we're going to help our veterans or how we're going to lower health care costs and create greater options.
Sean, that's a big promise. Insurance for everybody. What does that look like? Does that mean government pays for it, or government mandates that businesses pay for it?
Well, again, Nora, I think the goal right now, as the president stated in this Washington Post article, is that his goal is to make sure that everybody's covered, but he wants to do so in a way that brings all of the entities to the table and negotiates a way that costs to go down. So there's a pharmaceutical component to this. There's a competition and a marketplace access issue, meaning right now the plans cannot compete across state lines, which limits competition. So there are ways that you can deal with the price side that drive the costs down and give consumers greater choice.
Let me ask you about John Lewis and John Brennan. First, John Lewis, was that necessary on behalf of the president, notwithstanding what John Lewis had said?
Well, again, look, I think John Lewis is an icon in both civil and voting rights. And this, on today, Martin Luther King's anniversary, I think it's a day that we can recognize the efforts that someone like John Lewis has made. He's been a stalwart of fighting for that. And that's why I think his comments were disappointing. John Lewis, more than anybody, understands the need to enfranchise people, to get them out to vote. And when he makes a comment about the illegitimacy of an election and the illegitimacy of the president, I think that really undermines part of the work that John Lewis has done, because he's been such a champion and a hero of voting rights and working to get more people to vote, and the legitimacy of our voting apparatus and systems. To see him make a comment like that, I think was disappointing, and I think the president
doesn't have to respond to everybody that criticizes him, and especially
I understand
in this
that,
case
but I think
at
that
this
when
time.
someone, I understand that, but when someone of John Lewis's stature goes out and attacks the legitimacy of an election and his legitimacy as president, there is a sense that when someone of that huge stature and iconic nature attacks him, the president-elect has a right, as he's done over and over again, of fighting back and making sure that he shows that he's not going to sit back and just take attacks without responding.
Thank you so much for joining us.